You got scammed.
Imagine losing over $5 million to a couple of rappers. That's exactly what happened to the United States Internal Revenue Service. Now let's set the stage. Two Metro Detroit rappers, Samira Merrill and Noel Brown, better known as Cream and Brown of the female rap group Deuces Wild, cooked up an elaborate tax scheme that left the IRS reeling. This wasn't some small-time hustle, folks. We're talking about a scam that ran from 2013 to 2017, claiming withholdings and refunds of more than $13.6 million. That's right, $13.6 million. Now, these aren't your everyday rappers. No, these ladies were charged with aggravated identity theft, false claims, and conspiracy in an IRS complaint that was unsealed recently. So, how did they manage to pull off such a massive scam? Let's dive in. To understand the scam, you need to know the players. Samira Merrill, aka Cream, and Noel Brown, aka Brown, were more than just rappers. Now, let's delve into the intricate world of Samira Merrill. A woman of many faces, Merrill juggled identities like a master illusionist. She was known as Samira Anderson, Samira Pickett, Cream, and Lauren Boyd. Each identity, carefully crafted, served a purpose in her elaborate scheme. Now, that's a level of dedication you'd expect from a secret agent, not a rapper. But who was Merrill beyond these personas? A native of Detroit, she was half of the female rap duo Deuces Wild. Her partner in rhyme and crime, Noel Brown, completed the pair. On stage, they were Cream and Brown, spitting verses that reflected their lives' gritty reality. But off stage, they were orchestrating a multi-million-dollar scam that was as audacious as their lyrics. Noel Brown, aka Brown, hailing from Romulus, was the other half of this dynamic duo. Together, they not only shared a passion for hip-hop, but also a knack for bending the rules, and bend the rules they did in ways that would make even the most seasoned con artist blush. Their music was their camouflage, their stage names a smokescreen. The beats and rhymes were just a part of their act, a distraction from their real operation. They used their public persona to fly under the radar, their fame a perfect cover for their illicit activity. These weren't any ordinary rappers. Their lyrics were secondary to their criminal activities. Now, let's unravel the master plan. It all started in 2014 and continued through April 2022. It was a scheme so intricate, it could have been the plot of a Hollywood heist movie. Merrill and Brown, two Metro Detroit rappers, decided to moonlight as fraudsters. Their target? None other than the IRS and 6 state treasury departments. But they didn't stop there. Their audacious plan involved filing a grand total of 122 false and fictitious income tax returns for estates and trusts. Let that sink in for a moment. And these weren't just your average tax dodgers. They were crafty, cunning, and they knew exactly how to game the system. They didn't just fudge a few numbers here and there. They created entire fictitious estates and trusts, complete with fabricated income tax returns. But what's a good scam without a little misdirection? Merrill and Brown didn't just claim that these estates and trusts owed less tax than they actually did. No, they went a step further and claimed refunds, bogus refunds that neither they nor their accomplices were entitled to. Imagine the audacity of it. They didn't just defraud the system, they turned it on its head. They manipulated it to believe that it owed them money. And it wasn't just a few thousand or even a few 100,000. They claimed over $13.6 million in these fraudulent refunds. It's worth noting that this wasn't a one-off event. This was a continuous, systematic exploitation of the tax system that spanned over 8 years. They didn't just dip their toes in the waters of fraud. They dived in head first, and they swam in it for nearly a decade. It was a masterstroke of deceit, and it netted them over $13.6 million. This isn't just a story about two rappers turned fraudsters. This is a tale of audacity, manipulation, and the lengths people will go to in their pursuit of illicit wealth. But as we'll see in the next scene, every master plan has its flaws, and every crime has its consequences. Like all criminals, however, their time in the sun was short-lived. The curtain fell on Deuces Wild when Samira Merrill and Noel Brown were charged with aggravated identity theft, false claims, and conspiracy. The rap duo had been playing a high-stakes game with the IRS, and they were about to lose in a big way. The charges were not mere allegations. They were the result of a meticulous investigation by the IRS. The tax agency had been tracking the duo's financial moves for years, piecing together an intricate puzzle of deceit. The duo's elaborate scheme had netted them over $5 million, but they were about to pay a hefty price. The federal government and the states weren't about to let Merrill and Brown off the hook easily. They seized assets from Merrill, including money, cars, and jewelry. These seizures reduced the amount owed in restitution, but the duo was still on the hook for a staggering $7,979,041.71. But the duo had done this to themselves. They had chosen to steal from the government, to lie and cheat their way to the top. Now, they were facing the consequences of their actions. Samira Merrill, also known as Samira Anderson, Samira Pickett, Cram, and Lauren Boyd, was handed down a sentence by the Honorable Linda V. Parker, United States District Judge in Detroit, Michigan. She was ordered to serve 3 years on supervised release after her time in federal custody, and the remaining restitution owed was still a staggering figure. The fall of Deuces Wild was a stark reminder of the consequences of greed and deceit. So, what's the aftermath of this shocking scam? After all the dust had settled, Samira Merrill pleaded guilty to mail fraud, wire fraud, and committing an offense while on bond. This guilty plea came on January 11, 2023, after years of defrauding the Internal Revenue Service and several state treasury departments. Merrill is ordered to pay back the remaining amount owed, totaling nearly $8 million. Much of this restitution has been covered by money, cars, and bling seized by the federal government and states during the investigation. It's a stark reminder that crime doesn't pay, even if it's hidden behind catchy rap lyrics. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. See you soon.